Jeff, imminent that some military action will take place in the Middle East. The United States government says Iraq deserves no further warnings. Nearly 300 U.S. aircraft have either arrived in the Middle East or are on their way. Families at Norfolk Naval Base in Virginia waved as more sailors left the docks bound for the Persian Gulf. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright says the time for talk is over. Saddam Hussein, she says, has rebuffed all diplomatic solutions. President Clinton says it's all in Hussein's hands to stop an airstrike before it happens. In his first public statement since the crisis began, Hussein said he will accept any initiative that will allow sanctions against his country to be lifted. But the White House says he's avoiding the only words that will prevent an attack, that he will allow UN weapons inspectors to return to his country. Meantime, Army Chief of Staff Dennis Reimer is at Fort Stewart, Georgia, where the Army's 3rd Infantry Division is getting ready to join troops already in Kuwait. The Army Chief of Staff showed his pride in those men gathered there.
I guess I'd sum it up by saying that these are a bunch of cool professionals. They know what they have to do, and they're prepared to do the job.
In Iraq today, the citizens are not learning that 7 Arab nations yesterday told Saddam not to expect any help from them. Instead, they're reading in their newspapers about the world condemnation, that is, of America. Well, the Northwest has already sent thousands of its sons and daughters to deal with this latest Gulf crisis, and hundreds more are ready to go within days or perhaps within hours. A carrier group has already left Puget Sound. Besides the carrier squadrons of A-6s from Whidbey Island, it's accompanied by guided missile cruisers, destroyers, submarines, and support craft. The naval station at Whidbey Island provided those radar-jamming A-6s as well. Fairchild Air Force Base near Spokane sent air tankers for in-flight refueling. And here at McChord, they're launching giant C-141 cargo transports. Nearby Fort Lewis has a medical team on alert. Pilots at Portland's Air Guard Base, though, still have not been mobilized. And that Army medical unit from Fort Lewis, just south of here, consists of 24 combat-ready, highly trained individuals who could be flown behind the lines to treat any wounds. We wouldn't want to see them, but they could treat any wounds of Air Force pilots or helicopter crews that might be shot down by Iraqi missiles. Routine flights come and go here at McChord. So far, 60 personnel and 3 aircraft have left for the Middle East. Most of these are members of flight and cargo crews. Just back from Iraq is Tech Sergeant Rodney Holland. For 6 months, he was a member of that UN weapons inspection team in Iraq. While you were there, did the Iraqis keep you from doing your job?
For the most part, no. I won't even say they actually kept us from doing our job. You know, a few times maybe it was a little delayed.
Sergeant Holland says the Iraqis he dealt with were friendly, not hostile. He said they seemed to recognize the importance of the UN mission in bringing peace to their country. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Shirley and Jeff, we will have more on that interview that I had this afternoon with Sergeant Holland, who was a member of the UN weapons inspection team, and we'll explain what those aerial tankers from Spokane's Fairchild Air Force Base will do if they should go to the Middle East. Back to you.
Mike Donahue at McChord Air Force Base tonight, bringing us the very latest from there. Thanks, Mike.
Now on to our other big story tonight. A grand jury just released its findings on the police beating of Richard Dickey Dow. Its ruling: no criminal charges against any of the police involved in that scuffle. But the grand jury decision is not the end to this controversy. However, it is a huge milestone to putting much of this to rest. Sandy James has been on the Dow investigation from the beginning. Sandy, what does this mean for the officers involved?
Well, good news, obviously, Shirley. This is it. This report was released just a few minutes ago here at the Multnomah County Courthouse by District Attorney Mike Schrunk. Now, it goes on to say that this decision is limited to criminal liability. The grand jury made no decision one way or the other regarding civil liability or the appropriateness of police policies or procedures. So the question we asked Mike Schrunk was then, does this mean that the officers did not use excessive force? Here's what he had to say.
Excessive force use. There was no criminal excessive force used. I think, you know, I would tell you that anytime anyone dies, certainly force was used, and was it necessary, was it excessive? And with hindsight, we could always say that things could be done different. So I think what they're saying is there's no criminal culpability.
A pill. I spoke to Dickie Dow's mother a few minutes ago. She said she didn't expect the grand jury would indict anyone. She said, "I knew in my heart they were going to say the police did nothing wrong." Deborah Howes, the lady who says police did not give CPR to Dow or allow her to, says she's not surprised either.
I can't expect that the district attorney and the police that depend upon each other so intricately on a day-to-day basis could possibly investigate one or the other. They work hand in glove. The grand jury's information was given to them through the filter of a district attorney who believes that the police are in the right.
Police Chief Charles Moose just held a news conference a few moments ago to respond to the return of the grand jury's findings. Here's what he had to say.
I would say that it's nice to know that some community members have looked at all of the information, have heard from the witnesses, and have made a decision that, yes, it is a tragedy, but there's no one here to be blamed in this situation. And certainly the men and women out on the street need to be commended and supported in the very difficult job that they try to do each and every day for our community.
Now, the Bureau is also releasing its 900 investigation of Dow's death. They're releasing that sometime later this evening. But a summary report of that investigation was released earlier, and it does show a number of contradictions between what police say happened that night and what witnesses say happened. And my colleague Ken Boddy has been looking at that today. Ken is in the studio with this report. Ken?
Well, Sandy, one of the crucial questions is whether or not police performed CPR on Dickie Dow, which may have saved his life. Neighbors who witnessed the incident insist they did not. But at his news conference just moments ago, Chief Moose insisted that indeed the officers did give Dow CPR.
Police now say they kept the fact that officers administered CPR to Dickie Dow a secret so as not to taint the grand jury investigation.
And all of my neighbors who were there that entire time and did not walk away never saw anybody give him CPR.
But Howes admits she went back into her house to get slippers and turn off her shower. The police report indicates CPR was administered during that time, but Howes says she was only gone a minute.
In that minute, while no one else saw them, while everyone else was there, I mean, at this point, I'm much more willing to believe my neighbors than the police. I think the police are lying.
I haven't changed any of my story. It's all been the same from the
Tim
time.
Maher was also there that night.
I did not see him perform CPR.
Maher says he did see an officer place a CPR mask on Dow's face after a frantic attempt to find that mask. But after that, he says his view was obstructed.
Did you see them perform CPR?
No, I did not, because I was blocked by the fire truck.
Portland's Police Bureau has not required CPR certification since 1991. And in this news conference after Dow's death, Chief Moose did not specifically say whether Dow received CPR or not.
Unfortunately, we cannot be everything to everybody. Oftentimes, we like to think of ourselves as super cops, but we're really just ordinary people, and there's only so many skills that you can take with you and learn and do well.
That was then. So today at the news conference just moments ago, we asked Chief Moose if the Dickie Dow incident will mean a return to police CPR training. This is what he said.
I have, at this point, asked Chief Wall of the Fire Bureau to convene a committee. He's agreed to chair that committee, and that committee will look at the emergency medical response training that should be presented to Portland Police Bureau. He will look at a number of things, certainly the issue of time, the issue of funding for that training.
And that is what Chief Moose has had to say. We are going to take a live shot right now of the Kinko's Lloyd Center, where the copies of that more than 900-page grand jury report are being copied. And as soon as all of that is copied and we get that full copy, we will bring it to you.
Thank you, Ken. It's going to take a while to get through that report, but we'll have it as soon as it becomes available. Thank you.
And in a court case involving the President of the United States, Bill Clinton will never have to face Paula Jones in court. Instead, he'll pay her $850,000 to settle her sexual harassment suit. Jones said the president made crude advances in an Arkansas hotel room when he was governor. Clinton denied the claims. A judge dismissed the lawsuit in April, but it was being appealed. Lawyers for Jones and the president signed a deal to drop the suit in return for the $850,000. The agreement contains no mention of an apology from the president. Jones's lawyers say she considers the settlement a victory.
A hunter shoots and kills 2 dogs, and it apparently wasn't an accident. The dogs' owners are devastated. Why did it happen? Before you make up your mind about this story, let KOIN 6 News reporter Ann Jagger tell you the rest.
It's been a week since these puppies got mother's milk. That's because they're orphans now. The puppy's mother and father were killed by a hunter's bullet. The dogs ran off the owner's property in Lynn County and were shot.
Usually there's nobody around.
Don and Mona Wells are very angry, and they're having trouble forgiving themselves for letting the dogs loose.
You know, we have to live with that for the rest of our lives. But the thing of it is, it still did not give him a right to do what he did.
I mean, evidently this guy was just out deer hunting, and then he just takes the liberty to shoot and kill both of these dogs. And the way I look at this is just a cold-blooded, malicious act.
It's not unusual for people around here to let their dogs run free. Look at him. He doesn't have a leash. But legally, you can't shoot a dog just because it's roaming free. It has to be chasing livestock, or in this case,
if they see it chasing the deer and if the dog is unlicensed.
The sheriff filed no charges against the man who did it. And the man says he's still sick about it. He thought they were chasing deer.
I'm very sorry.
The man can hardly talk without breaking up. Don Wells is choked up too. And then there's these 10 puppies who now need good homes. Ann Jagger, KOIN 6 News.
Coming up, children's nightmares can be inspired by real events. It is a scary world we live in. And when we come back, we're going to help you help your child to cope with reality fear.
It's Friday night. News Chopper 6 in the air with Captain Warren Petrie watching the skies and Jim Little with your weekend forecast on deck.
And KOIN News has a deal for you. Take your gems, junk, and antiques to Lloyd Center Mall and get them appraised on us. Turn your attic stash into cash tomorrow and Sunday inside the mall by Nordstrom's. And speaking of cash, you made some today if you own stocks, funds, or if you're in a company retirement fund. The market is up. Our chopper is up too. Weather's next, and so is the weekend on KOIN 6 News.
You're watching KOIN 6 News with Jeff Gianola and Shirley Hancock. KOIN 6 News.
La transmisión simultánea en español es un servicio público de las noticias de KOIN Canal 6 y pueden ser escuchadas en español a través de KMUZ 1230 AM La Z.
Can you imagine the internet helping you to teach better? We can. Now offering Master of Education degree online. George Fox University, where faith and learning connect.
It's a legacy of hatred and misunderstanding. But does racism still exist in Portland?
You constantly are aware of the fact that you are black and different here.
I think they're progressive compared to like other major cities.
Ken Boddy and Craig Cheatham examine the Rose City with the perspective of both sides.
I think the increased diversity is caring for people. They like things the way they were.
It's a look at Portland in black and white. Tonight on KOIN 6 News at 6:30.
Kim Smith with another in our series of best bargains. Take a look. Exquisite accent pieces, frames, crystal. Everything you see here is from one store. Ross. Unbelievable. And even more unbelievable are the prices. I know I've seen this for a lot more money. In fact, Ross saves you up to 60% compared to department stores. And look at this great bedroom. When it comes to items for the home, Ross is definitely a best bargain.
Time is not an enemy at Parker Furniture. What we bring to your home is built to last.
And built to last beautifully, like the timeless quality and style of famous handcrafted Masterlooms rugs featured at Parker. You'll find colors from subtle to vibrant and patterns from traditional to contemporary, all in dozens of sizes and shapes to grace your home. And every Masterlooms rug is an example of great value.
Fear not time. Trust Parker Furniture. It's all in the Parker name.
This year, Lincoln took the road
and added a few new curves to it. And now, for good measure, your Lincoln dealer has given it a nice round number, only $33,700 after $5,000 cash back. At that price, maybe you should take all this sitting down. Of course, if you still need a little more time to let it sink in, we'll run it by you again. So if you want to add a few new curves to your favorite stretch of road, see your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln Town Car, what a luxury car should be.
Well, news accounts of impending war tonight on foreign soil and violence in our own communities at home is changing what our children fear. Psychologists report that children today are increasingly afraid of real life rather than the imaginary monsters under the bed. In connecting with kids, we learn to help children feel safe in an often frightening world.
I close my eyes and I see this horrible face and I imagine horrible monsters.
All right, sweetie.
It's common for kids to be afraid of monsters under the bed, but in the dark shadows of the night, it is now becoming more common for kids to fear reality than fantasy.
I don't have a good lock on the door and I'm afraid someone's going to come in and kidnap me or something. I think about that maybe one day I could be sleeping with my mother and that somebody could break in and take me away and rape me.
That's what we see as being more predominant these days, is those fears of violence.
A bullet hit Tristan McGowan in the arm.
Increased exposure to violence on television makes kids more susceptible to what psychologists call real-world fear.
They can hear something once that happened 10,000 miles away, and all of a sudden they're afraid it's going to come in their door.
In the last few decades, reality fears have risen near the top of children's surveys on what kids fear most.
So you don't want to, on the one hand, make light of or even make fun of your child's fears. On the other hand, you don't want to overindulge them. You want to recognize, oh, you're afraid of that, okay? And now we're going to get over it.
Help kids get over it by making sure they don't over-dramatize what they see and reassuring them parents can and will protect them. Then kids find safe places in their imagination rather than scary ones. We're providing some additional resources for you on our website. You'll learn to recognize the common symptoms of fear in children and what parents can do. All you have to do is log on to KOIN.com.
And tonight's a great example, Shirley, because a lot of kids are hearing about a possibility of a war with Iraq, and they maybe don't even know where that country is or what's going on exactly.
You are so right. It's a perfect example to get a globe out, show them where Iraq is, why we may be involved in warfare, and most of all, tell them they are safe.
Yeah. Thanks, Shirley. And look who joins us now. Our good friend, Jim Little. You're always our good friend when the weekend's coming up.
Check with me Monday.
Oh.
May not be your good buddy by Monday.
You like rain?
Oh, there's lots of rain up north of us, and rain's slowly going to move in. We escaped the rain today. We're kind of right on the fringes here in the Portland area. Kind of an interesting sunset going on with clouds and the little sunlight filtering through. Live shot from News Chopper 6. Cloudy and 56 right now. Winds are south of 10. Barometer's rising slightly. It's at 30.14. We are, indeed, right on the fringes. Western Washington getting hammered with some heavy rains. We've had some reports, Mason County over 5 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Portland kind of right on the fringes, and the southern Willamette Valley dry and fairly mild. Look where the moisture's coming from, way down here in the tropics, spreading up into the Pacific Northwest. But the bulk of the rain has been over western Washington, extreme northwestern Oregon. Astoria has picked up some pretty good rains, but it's all been to the north of the Portland area, and except for a few sprinkles here and there, we haven't had much rain at all. Here's what it looks like on radar, and this is our satellite radar composite, and you can see the green just stays right over western Washington all day with some yellows embedded in there. The reason for the result of the heavy rains, the strong radar echoes anyway, and we have flood warnings out on the Skokomish and the Snohomish rivers tonight. But look at the rainfall totals. Hoquiam over 3 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Astoria over 1.5 inches. But just 200s here in Portland and only trace amounts in Salem and Eugene. 56 in Portland, 56 Salem, 57 in Eugene for high temperatures today, 40s and 50s east of the Cascades. High temperature at the airport at 56, 3 degrees above average. 52 was the overnight low. The freezing level fairly high. We're on the south side, the warm side of this weather system. and that means a high freezing level. Heavy rains down in Texas moving into Louisiana, but we had a report from Conroe, Texas, a little north of Houston, of over 8.5 inches of rain in 24 hours since the rain began there. 43 in Minneapolis, a little cool over the upper Midwest today. Lots of moisture streaming in generally to the north of us. A little wave out here holding that off from moving into the Pacific Northwest. But that will indeed happen. And then look what happens Monday. We're watching a weather system out here, trough of low pressure deepening, good strong jet stream developing out ahead of that, aimed right at Oregon. So it looks like we'll get some heavy rains again on Monday. Tomorrow we'll see rainy and windy weather as the system that's over Washington slowly slips to the south. Rainy and windy in the north, an increasing chance of rain on the southern coast. And the same thing in the Willamette Valley. It'll start out in Portland and gradually work its way southward, but the south end of the valley might not see much rain at all before the end of the day tomorrow. Temperatures once again mild in the upper 50s. Rainy and windy in the Cascades with a very high freezing level tomorrow. It will come down a little bit by Sunday. Rain spreading eastward through the Columbia Gorge, 56 in Hood River, 57 degrees in the Dalles. The clouds increasing and rain in the northwest, spreading slowly southwest east of the Cascades, but not a whole lot of rain reaching east side. Tonight in the Portland area, cloudy, a few sprinkles, 52 our overnight low. Tomorrow, 56, mild weather continuing. Sprinkles in the morning. It'll turn to steadier and heavier rain by afternoon. Back to showers on Sunday, and then some pretty good rains on Monday.
Look at that. Just keeps coming down, huh, Jim?
Just keeps coming down all over the map there.
Yeah, it's that time. And with a forecast like that, this is a great weekend to seek indoor activities.
Yeah, how about some treasure hunting? Coming up, a bargain bonanza at the Lloyd Center.
Well, if you've got some old things hanging around, you should spend this weekend going through them and bringing them here to Lloyd Center. I'm Lisa Balick. Coming up, we're going to show you how you can tell some junk from gems and gems from junk. We've got some experts on hand this weekend, as well as coming up shortly, who'll tell us what's a collectible and what's an antique. Find out coming up next.
Love that show.
Parent-Teacher Hotline, sponsored by Burgerville and KOIN 6 News.
Shirley Hancock and Mike Donahue, tonight on KOIN 6 News at 6.
The threat of winter floods is here. We're going to show you how Vancouver is preparing for the rain. Plus, kids are going to show us what toys are hot this Christmas. Tonight at 6.
Time is not an enemy at Parker Furniture. What we bring to your home is built to last.
And built to last beautifully, like the timeless quality and style of famous handcrafted Masterlooms rugs featured at Parker. You'll find colors from subtle to vibrant and patterns from traditional to contemporary, all in dozens of sizes and shapes to grace your home. And every Masterlooms rug is an example of great value.
Fear not time. Trust Parker Furniture. It's all in the Parker name.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, she trusted her accountant with her money. His father trusted a lawyer. They both got burned. Avoiding inheritance scams. Eye on America. The story later.
Hi, I'm Keith Copeland. Welcome to our store. Copeland's is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and we'd like you to come and experience the Copeland difference, the principles our parents taught us, and their traditions that we've carried on for 50 years. We are here to serve you. Copeland's furniture is handpicked for its beauty, high quality, and best value, like all these room settings by Broyhill. Come see your trusted friend of 50 years and save. Copeland's Furniture, Washington at 11th, Vancouver, USA.
When you're eating out, trying something new can be scary, because you're stuck with it. But at Old Country Buffet, I have no fear. Look at me. I'm trying this new roasted chicken. Am I crazy? No. Because I know I can also get pizza, or spaghetti, or roast beef, or ham, whatever I want. I am the boss of my plate.
Want something new? Try Old Country Buffet.
Don't be chicken to try this chicken.
Students at Grand High School in Portland are making a difference in our world. The classes competed to see who could collect the most clothes in a clothing drive. The bags poured in, and now they're going out to help a statewide parent help group. The sacks of clothes were donated to Parents Anonymous, an advocacy and support network for parents. They will now sell the clothes as a fundraiser for their helpline, free support groups, and parent education classes. The junior class won that competition, collecting 60 bags in just the last 2 days. They hope to win the next contest, too. Now they're collecting coins to help out in Central America.
Do you love antiques but wonder how much something you own is actually worth? Or are you just curious how to tell if something is really old or if it's just a piece of junk? Well, this weekend we're going to give you a chance to find out for free. KOIN 6 News reporter Lisa Balick is at the Lloyd Center now with a preview. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Jeff. I'll tell you, everybody has stuff lying around in boxes or sitting around at home. They could be family heirlooms, family treasures, or just junk. You never really know. That's why we're going to have a lot of experts like Bob Rao here, famous from the Collector's Show, over here this weekend at the Lloyd Center Mall. Bob, thanks for joining us. Fill us in a little bit on some of these things here that we've got here. What are these?
I can't resist these. These are marbles. And you know that this one is worth $350? That one's worth $250. That's a sulfide, and this is called an onion skin.
So if somebody bought those maybe a few years back, would they have been a lot less?
Yeah, quite a bit. They continue to go up because they're not making them anymore. However, they're reproducing them.
Now tell us also, cut glass is a big thing, I think, right now for collectors. They're also reproducing that.
They're reproducing it, but there's a way of telling, and I won't go into it right now, but I can tell you that this is an old piece and it's beautiful.
Now, as far as the difference, one question for you, collectibles versus antiques. What in the world is the difference between the collectible and an antique?
Collectibles generally are about 50 years old, and antiques, 100 years. That's what they go by.
Okay. Fortunately, neither of us are collectibles or, well, are antiques anyway at this point.
That's
All
right.
Thanks a lot, Bob Rao.
My pleasure.
Bob will be down here as well as a lot of other noted appraisers in the Portland area this weekend. We're also going to have a series of special reports on our newscast at 5, 6, and 6:30. You can come down here and find out what's real, what's a reproduction. We're also going to take you inside a Portland auction to find out, can you really get a good deal, and what happens if you raise your hand? You automatically buy that thing or not? Coming up, we will have that for you this weekend, so stop on down here at the Lloyd Center Mall. We will have all kinds of things for you to see and find out whether you've got gems or junk.
Thanks, Lisa. Nice to see our good friend Bob Rao. Used to love that show, The Collectors. Remember that on PBS? I loved that show. Hi, Bob. I love that show.
I love that show, too, as you've heard me say. Keiko is back in the news, or rather on the newsstand. Take a look at this the next time you go to the grocery store. Keiko is featured in the November issue of Life magazine. There he is, taking the first plunge in his native waters. It's a rather controversial article, though, questioning his move to Iceland. It was an article in Life 5 years ago that brought Keiko worldwide attention to his plight as a sick whale in Mexico. The latest from Iceland is that Keiko is busy these days playing with seaweed growing on the side of his pan. His trainers asked him to grab the strand in his mouth and pull it loose. He seems to enjoy this new natural toy.
And there are some neat pictures in here of here from Oregon, so you want to get this Life magazine with Christopher Reeve on the cover. Take care. Have a great weekend from all of us here at KOIN 6 News.
See you in 30 minutes.
Thank you for watching KOIN 6 News at 5. Your next local newscast is tonight at 6. KOIN 6 News.
It's another Fearless Friday, the 13th on the next Real TV. When this guy grabs this girl's parking spot, she's not giving up. Security cameras catch her revenge. Then the goalie's fighting mad, and he takes it out on the cameraman. Plus, it's intermission of the bullfight, and this is the entertainment. As the ultimate risk taker makes a 14-story plunge. It's all amazing stuff, and all on Fearless Friday, the 13th on Real TV.
Tonight at 7:30 on KOIN TV 6.
It's here, the 39th annual Portland Metro RV Show, starting November 11th at the Expo Center and leading to almost everything you've always wanted to see and do. It starts with choosing the new or pre-owned RV of your dreams and your means from the hundreds on display, attending AAA-sponsored RV lifestyle seminars throughout the day, and even walking through a $1 million marathon motor coach like NASCAR star Jeff Gordon's. The Portland Metro RV Show. Just imagine where it might lead.
Time is not an enemy at Parker Furniture. What we bring to your home is built to last.
And built to last beautifully, like the timeless quality and style of famous handcrafted Masterlooms rugs featured at Parker. You'll find colors from subtle to vibrant and patterns from traditional to contemporary, all in dozens of sizes and shapes to grace your home. And every Masterlooms rug is an example of great value.
Fear not time. Trust Parker Furniture. It's all in the Parker name.
I'm crazy about National Ford Truck Season.
Well, if I had the money, I'd tell you what I'd do.
This truck is tough as nails. My new 99 Ford Super Duty 4x4x4 is the only truck that can handle my typical work day. I found the truck I needed with a big power stroke diesel. Check the selection I saw. Anyone can find the right 4x4 by Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
Come on and get crazy about the best-selling, best-built trucks during National Ford Truck Season.
I believe he's probably had at least 20 affairs.
These women are certain that the men they love are cheating.
He just knows how I feel about a liar. I cannot tolerate a lie.
But their men insist they're completely innocent.
Everything that comes out of this man's mouth is a damn lie.
Now we're putting them to the test with hidden cameras, a beautiful decoy, and lie detectors. It's time to finally expose the truth on an all-new Mark. Monday at 4 on KOIN TV 6.
Arby's treats me like a star. With the $5 value roundup, I get to choose 3 beef enchiladas, or 4 regular roast beefs, or 5 barbecues for $5.
Log on and see why KOIN TV's Channel 6000 is rated one of the favorite television websites in the nation. Channel 6000. What you want, when you want it.
Instant markdown, $99. Now, drive a '99 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for $197 a month. Don't let time run out. Get to the Hillsboro Chrysler Plymouth Jeep warehouse this instant.
Will Smith, Paul McCartney, and disasters caught on tape on ET.